Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of people that don't want to move the time anymore. I never liked daylight savings time. I do not like moving the time back and forth. I don't see where it's a necessity. I mean, really, why why are we continuing to do this stupid act? So there are many politicians that feel the same way, and they're saying this last move we just made on Sunday, this not this past Sunday, but the one before, will be permanent. They're planning on making this permanent. I sure hope they do. I really do. So this came out on Think. This is an NBC affiliate. Daylight savings time could be our permanent time, and there are good reasons it should be. In the wee hours of Sunday, most American clocks sprung forward due to the yearly adoption of daylight savings time. It is likely that most of us are still adjusting to the change. The intended result is not, however, a nation of yawning workers and school children on Monday morning, feeling as though they got up at 6 a.m. and their bodies still believe it's instead 7 a.m., reflecting on their alarm clocks. Instead, daylight savings time is designed to give us more hours of daylight. And in the evening, when we're all home, and that's how it was when people were working. What was that? 2019, early 2020, when it was, I guess, what they would consider normal, which presumably make most of us happier than 4:30 a.m. sunrise on June 14th, the earliest day of the year. That's one reason every year there's an increasingly popular push on the federal level to make daylight savings time the permanent time across the US, rather than shift every time zone ahead 1 hour. Already 15 states have passed some sort of legislation to make daylight savings time the permanent time in their state. As someone who loves getting off to work, well, a lot of people did back in the past. They're making an attempt to open everything up, but I know that ain't going to work. So then going out and sitting in the sunlight at the end of a long day, I'm all in and maximizing year round hours of light available when I'm awake and not working. So I'm in favor of the daylight savings time, and this is the person writing the story. So historically, the United States daylight savings time started as during a World War One. Energy cost and saving measures with the added value of giving people more daylight hours during which to go shopping. It's a myth that the practice meet the needs of, they always said it was for the farmers during growing and harvest seasons. Mm-mm. Nowadays, a whole variety of special interests on the daylight uh, saving time gravy train, from the golf course owners, candy manufacturers. According to some research, it still offers some of its original benefits. In 2008, a report from the US Department of Energy analysis showed that daylight savings time reduced electricity usage about 0.5% each day. That sounds small, but it is significant across time, especially when you consider the current concerns about climate change and the stability of the three major power grids in the US. The older data suggests daylight saving time increases public safety as robbery rates drop significantly every spring when the clocks are adjusted. Yeah. The speculation is that criminals prefer working in evenings and early morning. Yeah, I bet they do. Even though there's an equally excellent argument to be made that once the winter chills recede in the northern states, more people are outside to enjoy the weather. So crime of opportunity decreases as a result of the increased traffic on the streets. But we do feel safer in daylight. Beyond that, there are apparently negative side effects of clock switching suggested. Yeah, one thing I do know, they said if you are on medication, it throws your medication schedule off. And it can impact, especially people that have like heart problems and, any type of serious medical issue where they have to be on a precise medical schedule, to take their medicines each and every day. It can throw that off. And they said, there are increased car accidents, increased risk of heart problems, and long term negative impacts on sleep habits when you're messing with the time, going back and forth. And you know what? I do agree with that. It just seems like even when I was working, it just seems like the days after the time would switch, you would be kind of dragging around, it just don't feel good. And I don't think we should be worried, in the state that the country is in. I don't think we should be worrying about stuff like this. This just doesn't seem that important at all. The country is dealing with COVID, and then you got these folks that want to act like COVID ain't here and trying to open up everything. And I just think the US have bigger fish to fry than worrying about moving a clock back and forth. This should really be the last thing the country want to do. And quite frankly, I like having more daylight time. I really do. I can't stand when we move the time back and by 4:30 it's practically dark outside. I hate that. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.